Hello, I'm Kimberly and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, March 23rd, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. President Barack Obama has drawn opposition for his decision to not approve a submitted plan for the Trans-Canada to cross into the United States from Canada with a 36-inch pipeline to move crude across America. But he reiterated his support for the southern leg of that pipeline project from Cushing to refineries near the Gulf of Mexico. He pledged that his administration would cut through the red tape, break through the bureaucratic hurdles, and make this project a priority to go ahead and get it done. The president said he wasn't ready to offer the same support to the northern leg at this point, but he hadn't ruled it out and instead simply wanted more time to review a route that would address concerns of Nebraska's governor and not threaten groundwater. A group of protesters assembling for Obama's visit opposed the pipeline, saying it threatened Native American sacred sites and the environment. The U.S. Department of Justice has taken a lawsuit filed by 2 Oklahoma tribes and moved the case from the state Supreme Court to federal court in Oklahoma City. An attorney with the department's Environmental and Natural Resources Division in Washington signed the notice of removal March 12th. The Oklahoma Supreme Court has agreed in February to decide whether the state or Choctaw and Chickasaw nations have the rights to the water in 3 major stream systems in southeastern Oklahoma. The leaders of the Chickasaw and Choctaw nations issued a joint statement that said they were pleased with the federal government's action. We think this is a very positive development because we think federal court is the proper venue for our claim, which is based on our historic treaties with the U.S. government and on federal law. The Idaho Senate unanimously followed the House in backing a resolution honoring jazz legend Mildred Bailey for her contributions to American music. The resolution is part of the Coeur d'Alene tribe's bid to win recognition for one of its members in the Jazz at Lincoln Center Hall of Fame in New York. Bailey grew up on the reservation near Desmet before hitting it big in California. Before she died in 1951, she was credited with helping launch Bing Crosby's career. Flagstaff is set to become the 6th city and the first in Arizona to sign an agreement with the Navajo Nation aimed at improving race relations. The signing is scheduled for March 27th at the Flagstaff City Hall. The tribe began pursuing the largely symbolic agreements with towns that bordered the vast reservation after racial tensions flared in Farmington, New Mexico years ago. The agreement states that the 2 governments shall work together to create training opportunities that encourage understanding and respect of all people. 4 New Mexico communities and 1 in Colorado have entered into such agreements with the tribe already. The Navajo Nation Human Rights Commission also plans to pursue agreements in Holbrook, Page, and Winslow. Researchers in Black Hills State University are looking at whether plants used in traditional Native American medicine could be used to help treat malaria. Chemistry professor John Dixon and a group of students are trying to determine the active ingredient in 4 sages native to western South Dakota that have been found to have anti-malarial properties. The sages are related to a plant used to make antihistamine, a common malaria drug. In recent years, officials have spotted an increasing number of malaria cases resistant to antihistamine in parts of Asia. But although scientists worldwide are testing new malaria drugs, there are as of yet no realistic alternative to antihistamine combination drugs considered the most effective. According to the World Health Organization, malaria, a mosquito-borne disease caused by a parasite, killed more than 650,000 people in 2010. Kevin Ellis, a chemistry senior and a minor in biology, who is a member of the Lower Brule Sioux tribe, said his ancestors knew which plants to use for various ailments, but didn't understand why they worked. Now he said he is helping answer those questions. A report by Native American Women Health Education Resource Center says women living on Native American reservations face major obstacles to accessing Plan B emergency contraception. Close to 1 in 3 Native women will be raped in her lifetime, and report authors say unwanted pregnancies could be prevented if Plan B was available over the counter. The report also criticizes the Indian Health Service for not implementing standard policies and protocols dealing with sexual assault and rape, despite being mandated to do so by the Tribal Law and Order Act. The Poarch Creek Band of Indians announced it is donating more than $1.9 million as part of its planned giving campaign for 2012. The tribe's donations will be dispersed throughout the year and will fund a wide variety of community services and projects in Alabama. The almost $2 million in aid comes in addition to the $2 million in funds that the tribe is donating to Montgomery and Elmore County schools. For a full list of the tribe's donations, you can visit poarchsupport.com. On March 16th, Cherokee folk rock musician Michael Bucher released his latest world premiere single, Dark Horse. In addition to the premiere release of Bucher's latest track, he is appealing to his fans in Indian country to make his next music video. According to his manager, Dolores Schilling, the project will be a collage of insights and voices from his fans in all over Indian country. They're asking anyone in Indian country that wants to be a part of Dark Horse music video to submit pictures, video clips from cell phones or cameras, artwork, poetry, or anything they feel inspired to submit after listening to Michael's song. To submit content for the video project, send email inquiries to vincent@schillingmediainc.com. On this day, March 23rd in 2003, Lori Piestewa, a mother of 2 young boys and an U.S. Army Quartermaster Corps soldier, was killed during an Iraqi Army attack. A member of the Hopi tribe, Piestewa was the first woman in the U.S. Armed Forces killed in the 2003 Iraq War, and the first Native American woman to die in combat while serving with the U.S. military. Each year on the anniversary of her death, the Piestewa family celebrates her life with other families of fallen soldiers at a facility near Piestewa Peak, which was renamed in Piestewa's honor. In 2007, musician Joanne Shenandoah wrote a tribute to Lori entitled, "What Are We Fighting For?"
First thing this morning I saw your face on local 10 TV. They asked you to say a word from those fighting the war overseas. You said hello to your friends and family, but there was no mention of me. When you left for the war, we had an argument. Our love was too blind to see. What are we fighting for, my love? When will you come home to me? Are we still fighting just because? Or do you just want to be free? Oh, how I wish I knew how to be someone who believes. Oh, how I long to understand why you are there overseas. If it weren't for the war, then where would we be? Would all your love come to me? What are we fighting for, my love? When will you come home to me? Are we still fighting just because? Or do you just want to be free?
And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.